Here's the weirdest playstyles in NBA history. Like Kyle Anderson, slow-mo. You can't have a weird playstyles video and not have Kyle Anderson be the first player. And listen, Kyle Anderson is a dog, easily in my top 27 favorite role players of all time, only trailing Justin Holiday. But it would be disrespectful to Turtles if you compare them to Kyle Anderson. Kyle Anderson, somehow, I don't know how he does it, is the anti-De'Aaron Fox. He plays in a slow motion pace. And really, it's unlike anything we've ever seen. Every single player in the NBA, they create space one of two ways. You either got a burst, or you got a jumper that makes people close out on you. Kyle Anderson slows down so much that you almost forget how to guard it. Not even forget, you don't know how to guard it. Just watch these highlights. And I'm not even kidding when I say my great-grandma's great-great-grandpa currently is quicker. And take a guess if he's currently on the planet. But the thing is, every team would love to have Kyle Anderson on their team, because it just works somehow. He turned his biggest weakness, speed, into a whole offensive playstyle that just works. But someone on the complete opposite side of the spectrum, LaMelo Ball. Playground ball. You ever been at the park and there's that one guy who just does whatever he wants? Pulls up from 55 feet one play, goes up around the back front flip past the next play. One day you love playing with him, the next day you absolutely hate it. That's what LaMelo Ball of the Charlotte Hornets has been doing since he entered the NBA. At 6'7", he's partially the creator of 6'7", and he's 6'7" running the point guard. And he's also out there running the point guard for one of the best offenses in the NBA. Most point guards in the NBA, they got a system, drive, kick, reset, read the defense. LaMelo is just a free-flowing game. And yeah, sometimes he's going to pull a shot. If you're a Hornet fan, that'll make you question your own life. But then sometimes he'll hit that same shot. You kind of just got to deal with the dumb shots, because sometimes they're going to fall. The guy attempts like 9 threes a game, and half of them are early clock, off balance, way too deep. Shots that make a coach bench you in a high school game, and they go in half the time. And he's also a great passer, always going to find the open man. The most fundamental player ever. And honestly, it works. The Hornets are sneaky amazing. But next player, Mitchell Robinson, offensive rebound monster. Every player we talked about so far has some kind of unique skill set. Slow-mo manipulates time. LaMelo runs a playground offense. Mitchell Robinson does one thing, maybe better than anyone's ever done it. He snags offensive rebounds. Now, I know what you're thinking. A lot of guys offensive rebound, obviously. But just think of how good your favorite player is at offensive rebounds. Then just stop thinking. He's not as good as Mitchell Robinson does it. This season, Mitchell Robinson had peaks of 9.4 offensive rebounds per 36 minutes. The NBA record? Well, the 9.4 by Mitchell Robinson. But then it gets even crazier. His offensive rebound rate this season was higher than 22 entire teams. He grabs nearly a quarter of every available offensive rebounds when he's on the floor. So statistically, every 4 misses the Knicks have, he's grabbing one. And the way he does it is actually insane. He's 7 foot tall, 7'4" wingspan. And a lot of the time, he doesn't even just volleyball tap the boards. He just grabs them. He plays like 20 minutes per game and will end up with like 6 offensive rebounds in those 20 minutes. And he's shooting 60% from the field, because every shot he takes is from 2 feet away, because 95% of them are offensive rebound putbacks. Shout out Mitchell Robinson, most underrated center in the NBA. But another center, slightly worse than Mitchell Robinson, Nikola Jokic. Slow, but elite at everything. So Jokic, this guy, quite good at the sport of basketball. Arguably the best player in the NBA right now, and he looks like he chops salami in the back of a deli for a living. Not that there's anything wrong with that, just if they hired someone to be a butcher in a movie, I feel like Jokic would be a perfect casting. But who cares, he's probably the best basketball player on the planet. 6'11", 280 pounds, and the best passer on his team. And actually, you can make a case he's the best passer in the NBA. He's definitely the best passing big ever. Just led the NBA in assists per game this year. So passing, check. And rebounds, well, he led the NBA in rebounds too. So rebounding, check. Then scoring, the highest scoring games in Denver Nugget history. David Thompson, number 1 with 73. Then 2 through 5, Jokic. In this 61-point game, he actually got a triple-double too. This season, Jokic averages 27.7 points per game, 12.9 rebounds per game, 10.7 assists, a triple-double average. And he's now done this in back-to-back seasons. The third player ever with a triple-double average. The other two are Oscar Robertson and Russell Westbrook. Two, superhuman athletes. Jokic is just, I don't know, Jokic. And somehow you can make a case he's the best offensive player ever. So yeah, shout out to an actual GOAT, Nikola Jokic. Then let's throw it back for a little for the next one. Charles Barkley, a short rebounder. Now if you're 6'6", you're not a small guy. But in the NBA, as a power forward, you're absolutely a small guy. Centers are 7 foot. Power forwards are 6'10". 6'9" is even a short power forward. 6'6", the literal definition of down to earth. But it doesn't even matter. Barkley is one of the best rebounders ever. 1987, 14.6 rebounds per game. He led the entire NBA. And he holds the NBA record, most rebounds ever by a player 6'6" or shorter. And honestly, I don't know how he got so many rebounds. Look who's around him. A bunch of tall plumbers and Mutombo, GOAT. But Barkley just chilling there. 20th all time. His nickname was the round mound of rebound. If you got rebound in your nickname, you gotta be good. Like Rajon Pass Rondo. You know? Magic Johnson. Absurdly tall point guard. So this one's actually become more common, I guess, with the Ben Simmons, Kate Cunninghams of the world. But Magic, he was the first. And the best. Magic Johnson, 6'9" point guard. Let that sink in. Every point guard trying to check him, Magic got 5 inches on them. And he was fast. He was going to dribble right past you and always find the open man too. 11.2 assists per game for his career. The highest in NBA history. And the 1980 finals, Kareem got hurt. Magic Johnson, a rookie, started at center. He went for 42 points, 15 rebounds, and 7 assists. Won finals MVP as a rookie, playing center. So yeah, the first real tall point guard. Easily one of the weirdest playstyles ever. And honestly, it's kind of weird how many assists he got. I don't know. But if you don't want to be weird, you should sub. That would be absolutely mega and ginormous for a lot of people. Thanks. Next up, Julius Randle. Modern day bully ball. So Julius Randle, he's got one go-to move, the spin. And it works somehow. He's an all-star every year. But genuinely, you know what's coming. He's going to back you down, turn his shoulder, and spin into the paint. The defender knows it. The crowd knows it. Julius Randle knows you know it. Brother, your doorknob knows it. But it's going to work. And it's kind of weird that it still works. The modern NBA is all spacing, but nah. Randle's going to hold the ball in the post like it's 1994, and he averages 20 and 10 doing it. It worked when he was on the Pelicans. It worked even more when he was on the Knicks. And now it works on the Timberwolves too. It's like David Lee, Zach Randolph, Julius Randle. Lefties who post up and grab rebounds. Tell me these aren't the 3 exact same players. Exactly. You can't. Next one though. Draymond Green. A non-scorer who runs the offense. Draymond Green has career averages of 8.7 points, 6.9 rebounds, 5.6 assists, and 4 championships. The guy scored less than your favorite team's backup center and is one of the most important players in NBA history. But the reason Draymond is so weird, well, like I said, the Warriors got 4 rings, and 90% of the time, Draymond runs the entire Warriors offense without being a scoring threat at all. Like, defenses literally sag off him, they dare him to shoot, and he just passes to the open guy the sag created. I know I mentioned it last video, but this guy had a 4-point triple-double. 4 points, by the way, is not double digits. The guy had 10 steals. And then he's got a depoy too. But I do got to give Draymond a little credit. I was scrolling through Instagram before and I saw this play. And I thought, how can I incorporate this into this video? And the Draymond section feels right. But this play is actually insane. Had me laughing out loud. Good block, MJ. Allen Iverson, undersized shooting guard. So Allen Iverson, 6 foot tall, 165 pounds. The build of your 10th grade history teacher. But then unlike your history teacher, he's got 4 scoring titles, an MVP. He averages 26.7 points per game for his career. That's top 10 all time. At 6 foot. The guy was the smallest player on the floor every single night and still took the most shots. He attacked the biggest defenders, averaged 30 points per game in the playoffs, and the crossover was ridiculous too. One of the most OP moves ever. But the thing with AI is, 6 foot tall, that's honestly even short for a point guard, let alone a shooting guard. So yeah, it's a ridiculous archetype nonetheless, but when your playstyle is, well, Allen Iverson's 30 points per game, it makes it 30 times more elite. But that reminds me, this video is presented by PrizePicks, America's #1 sports pick app. And I've actually got a lineup that I'm rolling with right now. I took the Detroit Pistons to win the NBA Finals. I put $10 on it for a chance to win $166. That's a 16.66 times payout. And honestly, this isn't random, because I feel like if Cade comes back healthy, they have a real path. He runs the offense, and when he's on the floor, the Pistons' efficiency is insane. That completely changes how competitive they are in the East, and honestly, I think they could dominate the East. And that's why I like this spot on PrizePicks. It's simple. You just pick more or less on player stats and even team outcomes, lock in your lineup, and you're set. I'll be posting more of my lineups on there too, so if you want to tell what I'm doing, make sure to follow me on the app so you don't miss anything. And if you've never tried it before, new users can pay $5 and get $50 in lineups instantly when you use code HMA. So download PrizePicks using the link in the description, use code HMA, and let's see if this Pistons pick hits. And as always, play responsibly. Giannis, no jumper but unstoppable. So Giannis, a 2-time MVP, a Finals MVP, one of the most unstoppable players ever, literally averages 30 points per game every season. And he can't shoot the ball at all. I'm balling like an athlete, but got no jumper. It's great. Defenses just let him catch it on the perimeter. They dare him to pull the J, and he doesn't. And then he takes 2 dribbles, and he's at the rim. I remember when he played the Raptors in the playoffs, Toronto literally invented a whole defensive strategy called the wall. Just pack the entire paint with bodies, let him shoot from the outside if he wanted to, and he still averaged 25 and 14. The guy's responsible for over 57% of his team's scoring when he's on the floor, points and assists combined, without a jumper. And he's shooting 65% true shooting in his peak seasons without shooting threes. Every defense knows exactly what's coming, and they can't stop it still. And surely, Shams is very ethical and won't tweet about Giannis anymore. Jaren Jackson Jr., a defensive superstar big who can't rebound. Jaren Jackson is such a weird player. Utah Jazz legend Jaren Jackson Jr., which feels weird enough to say in the first place still. But JJJ, he got one flaw in his game, and it's not like something tiny. It's something genuinely kind of weird. Well, weird in a sense, I don't understand why he has this flaw. He can't rebound, when he's arguably the best defensive forward in the NBA. Jaren Jackson is a 6'10" forward who averages a career 2 blocks per game and a career 5.6 rebounds. It doesn't really make sense. The year he won Depoy, 2023, he was 40th in the NBA in rebounds per game, 6.8 per game, which is also his career high. I see a 20-year-old Josh Giddey ahead of him. I also see a 3'4" Josh Hart above him. So he's getting out-rebounded by guards, but then leads the league in blocks. Nearly 10% block rate, which is historically rare. But because he's such an elite defender and not a great rebounder, Messi Jeweler 21, this guy gave him the nickname Jaren Brook Lopez Jackson. But yeah, JJJ, one of the best defenders of my lifetime, but just cannot snag boards. Boban, insanely efficient in low minutes. So Boban, probably the most liked player in NBA history, 7'4", and you're probably thinking, I mean, he's just a role player. Well, per 36 minutes, this guy averages 22.9 points, 14.9 rebounds on 57.8% shooting. Those are like, I don't know, like Jokic numbers almost. The guy just cannot play more than 10 minutes because the modern NBA just hunts him in the pick and roll, and he can't guard anyone in space. So he gets like 8 minutes a night. In those 8 minutes, he'll go for 6 and 4, and then you forget he exists. But then you look at the per 36 stats, and it's like, wait, is Boban actually a star? And the answer is yes. For about 8 minutes, he's the greatest player in NBA history. And if you're an advanced stats guy, Boban has a higher career PER, offensive rating, win shares per 48, and true shooting percentage than every player ever. So yeah, Drago Larson, statistically the best player ever. But let's stay with extremely tall players. Victor Wembanyama, 7'4" shooting guard. So Victor Wembanyama is a, 7'4" shooting guard, I think is the only way to say it. Because he's 7'4" and pulls up from like 40 feet like prime Reggie Bullock. Because prime Reggie Bullock did that a lot. But Wemby, there's no real answer trying to guard him. You send a big, he blows past him on the perimeter. You send a guard, yeah, let me guard at 8-foot wingspan. And then on defense, 3 blocks per game. I think Wemby is the first, like, giant, like 7'3" plus guy that plays like this. Pulls up from anywhere, can handle like a 1. Probably won't see another player like him for a really long time. Michael Porter Jr., the shoot everything player. I know people always make the MPJ jokes, the never swing the rock jokes, and honestly, he really doesn't pass. But it's for a good reason. He's a sniper. Open, contested, early clock, late clock, doesn't matter. He sees the ball, he shoots it. He shoots 9 threes a game, and he shoots 40% from 3 for his career. That's why it's fine when he does it. He's gonna hit it. He's 6'10", so he's a tough guard. So even when the defender closes out, he's releasing it over them anyways. The contest doesn't really count. And half his shots are threes. He doesn't pass. Like 1 assist per game for his career. Genuinely one of the lowest assist numbers ever. But throw him on a team with Jokic, Michael, Drake, Michael Porter Jr., May, Porter Jr., gonna win you a chip. Calvin Murphy, tiny guard who is efficient. So Calvin Murphy, 5'9" in the NBA, that already makes no sense. But it gets worse, or better. He's not just in the league, he's efficient. A career 17.9 points per game. And here's where it gets weird. 48.2% from the field as a 5'9" guard. Small guards historically take harder shots, of course, shoot worse percentages. Murphy just didn't. Then free throws, 89.2% for his career. His best season, he shot 95.8%. That's an all-time level, and he had insane volume, 18,000 career points, 13 seasons. The 5'9" dude literally had his jersey retired for the Rockets because he was so good. And he wore a hockey mask when he played. How you gonna let Wayne Gretzky get buckets on you like that? Robin Lopez, hookshot spams. The weird thing about Robin Lopez playstyle is just so outdated. This guy was in the 2010s playing like he was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and you know what? It worked. The dude built a career off one move basically. I mean, he was 7'1", so he had an advantage, but you don't see anybody else pulling up the skyhook anymore. So you gotta give Robin Lopez his credit. But I'm not even exaggerating, his offense is almost entirely hook shots. Like one stretch he had 88 hook attempts in 37 games. That's over 2 per game. Just straight up hooks. And he's not just throwing them up, he's making them. 54.5% on hooks, so he wasn't missing it. On top of that, 53.7% from the field for his career. So basically, if it's a 1 or 2 point game, the last play to get the game winner has got to be a Robin Lopez hook shot. Paul Pierce, non-athletic elite scorer. So Paul Pierce, he's not crazy athletic at all actually. No crazy speed, no crazy bounce, but somehow one of the best scorers ever. A career 19.7 points per game, over 26,000 total points. That's top 20 all time. Most elite scorers, they rely on explosion, first step, vertical. Pierce didn't have that. So what did he do? First, he had elite footwork, a pump fake, the pivot. He just spammed the hell out of these moves. And it created space without speed. And also, he drew a bunch of fouls, 26% above the league average for his size. And he converted, over 80% from the line. So even when he's not scoring, he's still scoring, if that makes sense. Shout out to Paul Pierce, one of the best buck getters ever. Klay Thompson, unstoppable catch and shoot. Klay's playstyle, the complete opposite of like anyone ever. I think in my opinion, the best catch and shoot player ever, the second best shooter ever. I mean, he just doesn't dribble. He once had 60 points on 11 dribbles. Most scorers need the ball, need moves, need rhythm. Klay just catches and shoots, and that's it. And he's elite at it. 41% from 3, and Klay's just running around off screens, and it works. And he gets records doing it. 37 points in a quarter, 14 threes in a game. It piles up fast. And on top of that, 2.2 assists per game for his career. So yeah, he ain't swinging the rock, but does he really need to? Andre Miller, slow and controlled speed. Andre Miller is the epitome of NBA archetype YouTube videos. He shows up in every one. But the thing is, Paul Pierce was slow. Andre Miller was actually slow. But Andre Miller controlled the offense fully. 6.5 assists per game for his career. Top 15 all-time in assists with no athleticism. And it's not like he could shoot either. 21% from 3. 12.5 points per game. Just post-ups, middies, and controlled entire games doing it. And he was good enough to stay in the NBA for 17 years. You know how good you gotta be when you move at the speed of a 3-toed sloth, and you got the shooting percentage of a 3-toed sloth? I guess 3-toed sloths are amazing at facilitating NBA offenses. But if you guys enjoyed this, I would genuinely appreciate if you could subscribe. It's the only thing that lets me know you guys want me to keep posting on here. Thank you guys for watching.